fired up.
4th down and goal from the 9. 17 seconds to go. The play clock at 3. Shotgun snap. Carr throws into traffic. Intercepted. Jermaine Pratt has the football.
Yeah.
Coffin nails.
Bam, bam, bam. How about that? It ends on a turnover.
Joe Burrow takes the snap. He takes a knee. And after 31 years, the drought is over. It is no fluke. It is a fact. The Cincinnati Bengals are headed to Super Bowl 56.
Welcome back. It is another episode of Pardon the Punctuation. As always, I am Aaron Smith, joined by the original co-founder, the self-proclaimed best producer in the city, Ed Mayhall.
It's true.
No Jeff this week again.
Hey, can you remind me to change that intro?
Oh, sure.
It's still on the Super Bowl from February.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't made the Super Bowl since we were kids, so.
Well, so we can just keep it on there until the next football season. All right, then. I'm here for it.
But yeah, Jeff is not here. We miss you, Jeff. Hope to have you back either later in the show if you can make it. If not, then by next week, perhaps. I think we have a guest lined up for next week, a new guest that we've never had. That'll be
interesting. Yeah,
if we're able to get him. How can you not find your? Are there that many people at the game?
Don't you have an iPhone? No, there's not that many people at the game.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just press the button that
rent a bird and just drive it around until you find it. I don't.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, do that.
Was it a $3 beer and $2 hot dog night?
Oh, was it?
I don't know. Maybe that's why he can't find his car.
If it was, then the Reds saved a lot of money because there was nobody at that game.
I don't know. We'll see. Funny that instead of diligently looking for his car, he's here with us.
Well, that's fine. I'm glad we can keep him company while he's looking for his car.
That's your brother, man.
If you happen to find an officer, if you happen to see Jeff while you're down there, go live. Oh, it was apparently $3 beer night.
$2 hot dog night.
$2 hot dogs.
Just cut your losses. Pay the overnight and just get an Uber.
And that's PTP live from the Reds game.
It's fine.
Boots on the ground.
No, it's not. It's just your brother.
Boots on the ground.
Nope.
So, how was your baby shower?
Well, it was a diaper party
/ baby shower. How was that?
It was amazing.
Got to meet Clay Snowden for the first time in my life.
Do you have the bottle right there?
No, it's upstairs. Damn.
So mine too. Mine too.
Damn. No, I hid it so the boys wouldn't find it and break it because I have Jeff's.
I dropped mine already. Thankfully, it was not damaged whatsoever because liquor people are smart and put things in thick bottles.
Thick glass bottles.
It wasn't on concrete or anything, but so yeah, we got our 100th episode special ordered Knob Creek bottles from Clay. We got to meet Clay. I had already met him. You got to meet him.
This is your second time meeting him, right?
Yeah. Even though our parents apparently, unbeknownst to them, vacationed together, oddly enough.
That's still a crazy story to me.
That is a wild and crazy story.
Hey, do you know PTP?
Yeah, it's so weird. But yeah, the Reds, man. The last two nights, and maybe it's because it's Arizona. I don't really know. I mean, Arizona bragging a whopping 26-30 record going into the game tonight. Cincinnati 19-35 going into tonight.
We're almost at 20. Can we get there? Can we get there?
Well, I mean, we'll see. Right now it's in a rain delay, and there is the possibility in the 8th.
So that's a full game.
It would be.
That's a full game. Just call it.
Well, last night was they called it after 7.
Oh yeah, let's call it. We should call the game anytime it's after the 7th inning and it's raining. There's no point in going back out in the field unless we're down by like 1 and there's a possibility we're going to come back. But if we're in the lead, call it every time.
It depends on the storm, though, man. People still want to finish up. The players, I guarantee you, players who are trying to reach incentives for different things, especially guys who may or may not be here when some of the guys who were injured get back. I know India is pacing to come back hopefully soon. Although you just saw Moose hit the IL. Your family, man.
Floor numbers are key. I got just real quick. I know off topic because I know we're talking about the Reds, but if you haven't been to Kings Island lately, they got rid of like the Scooby-Doo sections. Like they got rid of all those sections. So now you just have to remember where you parked. It bothers me because I remember like just going, oh yeah, I've been Scooby-Doo 22 today. Can't do that anymore. The piece of our childhood gone.
They don't have anything marked at all?
No. Except for premium parking.
Well, maybe there's your incentive.
But get premium parking. Let me just go ahead and pay $40 every time I go up there. Just get premium parking.
And don't you get it with a gold pass?
What is this? Disney World? No, I have a gold pass, but I just pay for regular parking.
You used to get premium parking with a gold pass until it was full.
Yeah, and then everybody got gold passes. Gold pass turned into a regular pass at that point.
Just another piece of our youth gone.
They don't have the what is that? What was it called? That it's gone.
It's so gone, in fact, that you have no idea what you're even talking about.
The tram that used to drop people, you pick you up like from the end of your parking.
Well, that's the first description you've given tonight.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, but that's gone.
Okay. I don't recall that, but maybe that's because I'm okay with walking.
I mean, I was okay with walking too, but sometimes you got there late night during the Festival of Lights or whatever they call that, Winterfest, and you park way in the back with, I mean, it's cold out, bro. Sometimes you just want to, as you're leaving, you just want to grab a hot chocolate, drink it while you're in that tram, taking you to your car, warm up a little bit.
Maybe they still have it for the Festival of Lights or Winterfest.
They don't. Weren't there?
Or maybe it was already taking somebody to their car.
There were multiple ones. Don't try to act like I'm wrong here and try to act like and minimize my childhood being gone.
Look at that. Your dad's even here tonight. Your dad's in the chat.
The first time he's watched us live, I think.
Your brother, your dad, look at that.
She's got a whole Mayhall thing tonight.
It is a whole Mayhall thing. Maybe I should be the one backing off the show, and you, your dad, and your brother should just do the show together tonight.
Yeah, it's Greg's still trying to find his car. Let's be honest.
He said he found it. He was on the wrong floor.
He's trying to make us feel like he.
So last night, Hunter Greene pitches 7 innings. You know how many hits he gave up in 7 innings?
0.
1.
Oh, I was close.
Wasn't a no-hitter. You would have heard about it all over Twitter. But still,
they lost.
Only 1 hit, 8 strikeouts. You say they lost? No, they didn't lose. They won.
No, but if it would have been no-hitter, they may have lost.
That was 7 runs.
True.
But he went 87 pitches, lowers his ERA down to 5.4 with that performance. 8 strikeouts over 7 innings. I believe I saw somewhere on Twitter today that he is the first MLB player in the modern era to average 1 or more strikeouts in a rookie season per inning pitched.
Pretty good stat.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm okay with that stat. I'm trying to find it here, see if it says it. Yep, there it is. Is the only MLB rookie in modern era.
Well, throw it up so we can actually give credit to the person who tweeted it out, because I don't recall that name.
Stats by stats. Let's give you some credit here.
Just waiting for the tweet.
You didn't tell me that was going to happen, but there it is.
It's all right.
Hunter Greene of the Cincinnati Reds is the only MLB rookie in modern era to pitch at least 7.0 innings in a start while facing minimum number of batters and averaging at least a strikeout per inning.
I know that he was the number 1 overall pick in the draft. I know he has already had Tommy John.
Yeah.
I know that this is his first season here, so there's not a ton of tape as he wasn't down in the minors all that long.
Right.
Hi, Geoff. Good to see you, bud.
Hey, Geoff.
But it's crazy to me that this kid seems to have finally gotten his stride underneath him, right? Like, I feel like he has settled down and he is finding his groove. And at his age, I believe he's 23.
That sounds about right.
He's only going to get better, especially once he starts developing those secondary pitches.
He's 22.
22, even younger. So once he starts developing those secondary pitches and isn't so reliant as he is heavily reliant on that 97-mile-an-hour fastball that tops out at, 101, 102?
I think it's what it came out to, yeah.
Hunter Greene is going to be special. I saw Chad Dotson say that he doesn't recall a better pitcher in the Reds organization ever.
In his rookie year?
No.
Just ever?
Ever. He thinks he might be watching, and Chad Dotson's been around for a long time. He writes a lot of historical Red stuff. He thinks that, and he did correct himself later on in that same tweet thread where he said the ceiling is very, very high because people were like, I don't know, Rijo, Cueto, like those were some dudes. He said in his lifetime, in all fairness.
Okay.
But, I mean, Hunter Greene, I think, has the opportunity to be very, very special.
Yeah, and imagine how great he would be on a good team. No?
I don't know. Maybe, but why would he be on a great team if he was the number 1 overall pick? You know, and it took him 2 seasons to get here? I think he was the number 1 overall pick in 2019, I believe.
17.
It was 17. It was that long ago.
2017, sir.
Wow.
Out of Notre Dame High School.
That makes sense because, I mean, yeah. So he was
COVID year.
He never went to college. He was drafted as a 18-year-old, 17-year-old, whatever it was. To Geoff's point, Ashcraft is amazing as well. We will talk a little bit more about him in a few moments as we haven't gotten to tonight's game yet. But Hunter Greene has been just simply outstanding. I'm pulling up his last couple games here. As he went 7 innings tonight. Against Boston, it wasn't fantastic. Against Chicago, also not fantastic. But against Toronto, 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run. Against Pittsburgh, 7.1, no hits, 1 run. He was part of that no-hitter that we lost.
Right.
6 or more strikeouts in all 5 of those outings. 8 in the last 2 and 9 in that no-hitter. Yeah, I mean, you kind of got to get excited, though, about what the future holds. I know that we keep talking about 2024 kind of being the goal for this Reds team.
Right. But you never see there's going to be enough tape on him by 2024 that maybe he doesn't produce like that.
He's also at that point going to be 2 years longer in the league.
Yep.
And having developed some pitches, having worked through some kinks. So it's not like he's coming up as a rookie that year. And I mean, just because you get tape doesn't necessarily mean you can figure him out.
That's fair.
I mean, you still have Aroldis Chapman in the league, and he's like our age.
Is he still in the league, really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Geoff, yeah, we may have been talking about that before you got in here. Still learning to use his fastball to his advantage. He's heavily relying on that fastball, as we kind of talked about. But I'm more curious to see the development of those secondary pitches, like I said, because I think that's going to be what takes him over that hump to going from good to great, and hopefully eventually into mold him into a future all-star, because I think that the sky is the limit for this dude. I don't know. There was a situation also in the game last night where Joey Votto hit his 800th extra base hit of his career. Madison Bumgarner, was on the mound, and he wasn't really pleased when the Reds wanted the ball for that 800th extra base hit. As we know, Joey Votto, he doesn't care about collecting the balls for his achievements.
No, but his dog does.
I think that this was the Reds wanting the ball.
Oh, for the Hall of Fame.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but
they either wanted it for the Hall of Fame or they wanted it to sell so they could get mad bucks off of it.
I doubt that's it. I would think you'd want that in the Hall of Fame if that's his big last
Sure.
hundo.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I know you got some video on that though.
Oh, I didn't choose the audio. Hold on a second. This whole streaming stuff it's pretty hard.
And that's why you may not be the best producer in the city.
No, I'm still the best producer in the city.
Which was a milestone for Joey Votto, Jim Day, and I'm not sure if Madison Bumgarner was totally aware.
Yeah, he didn't want to give up the baseball. They wanted to authenticate the historic baseball, so he was ticked off that he had to give up the ball, didn't understand, and then once they threw him a new ball, he's like, you know what, I don't want the ball you just threw me. Let me throw this aside. Give me another one. He was upset about many things. I don't think he...
Which was a milestone for Joey.
Meanwhile, Joey's just sitting back there chilling.
Because he doesn't care about milestone baseballs.
No,
it's
he
not
doesn't.
News. That ball would have ended up with a dog.
Yeah, it would end up with a dog because he doesn't keep stuff like that.
He may have just given it to a fan. Could have put it on like his TikTok or any of his other social media platforms that he's still all over.
Hiding things around town for people.
No, Votto was not mad. If I did say that, I'm sorry. It was Bumgarner, who's always mad. His first three letters of his first name.
Our bum. Well, we haven't done bum of the week in years, or at least a year, maybe.
It's been quite. Maybe Mad Bum is bum of the week for being just an asshole about a big career milestone and then getting just ticked off. Like, you want the ball? I don't want this ball. Fine.
Madison should have gone and handed it to Joey, and Joey should just thrown it away. I would have laughed so hard.
Throwing it to a fan in the stands.
Yeah, just giving it to a fan. Yeah, absolutely. Just walk up to some fan. Here it is.
He also spent his 2000th career game? Is that the video that he released where he was informed it was his 2000th?
Oh, yeah. It was a big number. I don't remember exactly what it was, but he was in the dugout or the locker room.
4,000th career game?
Yeah.
I'm not even sure. It's a lot of games. Whatever. I don't think it was 4,000.
I don't think it was.
That put him in the league for 24 years or almost 25 years if he played every game. Not counting playoffs, but we haven't won any of those series while he's been here. So
apparently I'm already following this Twitter called Joey Votto Milestone Tracker, but it's in here somewhere.
2000 makes more sense. That's what. How long has he been up here? Again, he's like our age. I think he's 37.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's not far off of us at all. Why wouldn't this be on this? Anyways, yes. It was a big game. It was a big
Votto career.
That's what I just typed in. I just typed in Votto milestones and
Yeah, I don't know how many it was.
I'll find it.
That's fine. Bunch of Nick Kirby. Whole bunch of
was
Nick.
that? Was that Sunday?
I don't know. I know it's on his Instagram. It's the video with just a giant Joey Votto face as he's in the locker room.
He got kind of emotional about it though.
He did, because he didn't realize it had been that many games. Somebody had to inform him. But yeah, just interesting. He's been definitely hitting some milestones this season. I wish that it came under better circumstances.
No, it was the 20th anniversary of him being a Red.
That's it. 20 years.
That's it. Nothing that we were talking about. Just the 20th anniversary of him being a Red.
I knew there was a 2 and a 0. I just didn't know there were not additional 2 zeros.
If Joey could put captions underneath his Instagram, so that'd be great. Then I wouldn't have to listen for it.
It would probably also help if I did better show prep. That's on me.
Things happen.
It's on me.
Things happen. I think we did better show prep than Cleveland did investigating Watson. So I think we're going to be good.
Not even going there with him.
I just think we're going to be good.
Man.
I just think we're going to be good.
Goodness. Hot Mess Express.
Geoff says he needs 60 more for 2,000.
So then the Reds played tonight, also against the Arizona Diamondbacks. And
you forgot about the major part of last night, the rain delay.
I did. I mentioned that we only played 7 innings. There was a rain delay, and you caught more of that than I did. So what happened with the tarp?
Well, apparently they were not prepared. So what I'm hearing is that
You just interrupted yourself.
The refs, the umpire, waited too long to call a delay. And so like there's a certain point in a rain delay or in a rain shower where when you put that tarp on the field, it's going to take forever to put that tarp on the field, or it's going to start pooling, like the water's going to start pooling on the tarp or whatever. So apparently them trying to put the tarp on last night too late, thanks a lot, umpire, caused them to not get the whole field covered. So they actually had to bring out 3 tarps to cover the field last night. Normally, we've all been to a rain delayed game. They pull that one tarp from over here in a corner and they pull it out and they pull it down. Usually they're flawless on this, right?
I was going to say, this has never happened.
I've never seen this happen. But also, and I saw it on Twitter, and this is great. This is a great point. Who gave the authorization to buy 3 tarps? I mean, I bought a huge tarp once from Harbor Freight, like big enough to cover a tractor, and that thing alone was like $60. Imagine how much this tarp is.
Where's the third?
You got a tarp here, a tarp here. I don't know where they put the third tarp.
Unless that's what the Gorilla Glue is right there that they're holding.
Yeah, there's a going down the baselines. They are, yeah.
No, the orange one. That's the Gorilla Glue logo right there.
Well, that's the cover of the tarp over in the corner.
Then that's what they used there then.
So they actually had to use the cover of the tarp, I'm guessing, to cover up the rest of it because they had to get a third tarp, a second tarp, a third. There's 1, 2 rolls. I don't know, man. I just feel bad for the grounds crew.
The red one's very thin. I wonder if they use that for like the bullpen.
It's a possibility.
Because you do have dirt back there. I don't know how much dirt you have, but
and these guys were getting drenched. I feel bad for them. But hey, the Reds came out with a win.
They did. So moving to tonight, as again, there's another rain delay because it's June. Why wouldn't we have just rain? Lots and lots of rain. Ohio.
April showers bring May flowers. Oh, wait a minute. It is June.
Yeah. 9-0, Ed.
I was watching the bottom of the second, and they were just clobbering the ball.
Votto hit a home run. Then right after that, Pham almost hit a home run. It just barely went below the wall. Drury hit a home run in the second.
Drury Sweets. Yep, Drury Sweets did that.
Reynolds hit a home run. These guys they're starting to. I know.
We said it last week. I know.
The beginning of the season was dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. 3-22.
We can hit lefties this week, I guess.
When was the last time we've been able to hit lefties at all?
That's a great question as well.
But since that 3-22 start, the Reds are now 16-13. They had a winning May, officially. And the kids can pitch.
I mean, we needed pitching a couple years ago, but now we have it.
The kids can pitch, as you had Graham Ashcraft tonight in his, I think it was his third start. So far, here's his starts, Ed. Against Toronto, 4.1 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 runs, 3 strikeouts. That was his debut. They did win that game 3-2. His second game, 6.1 innings pitched 2 more innings, 4 hits, 2 walks, 1 strikeout, no runs. They won 5-1. Now in his third game, tonight was his fourth. In his third game against Washington, the second game was against the Giants. Third game against Washington, 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 run, 5 strikeouts. We won 8-1. If the game holds tonight,
which it should, we should go ahead and just call it now.
That puts him at his 4th win. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, no runs, 4 strikeouts. His earned run average stands at 1.14 as of right now.
I'm here for it.
4-0. 4-0 for Graham Ashcraft. Again, another kid.
Oh.
He's a rookie coming up. There's not a whole lot of tape on him. He started this season, I believe, in AA. I don't know if he was all the way up at AAA.
No, he started. Yeah, he started in Louisville.
Did he start the season in Louisville?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's only played in Louisville this year.
But he fast tracked.
Cincinnati. Yeah.
He fast tracked. He I think it has been. He made it before people necessarily even knew his name.
Yeah. He pitched 7 games in Louisville before coming up.
He wasn't a prospect that was really talked about, not at a high level. I know Clay talked about him a couple weeks before he made it to the show, and Clay was saying, "I can't wait for it to be Graham Ashcraft time." Just talking about what he was doing down in Louisville. Now he gets here, he's putting on quite a show as another one of these rookies. So you have Nick Lodolo, you have Hunter Greene, you have Graham Ashcraft. I know Geoff had said earlier, Brandon Williamson, we'll see. He's not quite here yet. I'm a little disappointed that doesn't look like the Vladimir Gutierrez experiment is going so well this year compared to last year. But the kids can pitch.
Yeah. I mean, I like pitching, and we need pitching. Now, just need hitting as well.
But that's where it starts, right? Pitching's the hard part. And these guys are all under control for many, many years. Geoff, we tried to get Clay on tonight. He was busy tonight.
That man stays busy, that Clay guy.
But yeah, it's like I said, pitching's the hard part to find, and it's the expensive part too, Ed.
It is.
So you have
it locked down, then let's keep it locked down. You
have Malley, who's been underperforming this season. You have Luis Castillo, Graham Ashcraft, Nick Lodolo, Hunter Greene. Right now, it's still, even if Malley's underperforming, that's still a fantastic 5-man rotation. As of right now.
Who's not performing well? Nick Senzel. I believe he's injured again.
Did they call it?
Nope, they're bringing a tarp out. Nope, they're rolling up a tarp.
All right. So
It still says weather delay.
You're saying there's a chance.
Hey, look now. See, look now. When you give these guys a chance to do their job, they're doing it to perfection. This ground crew.
So it looks like they might be finishing the game after all.
Let's do it.
Senzel played tonight, Ed.
He did?
Yes.
I thought he was injured again.
No.
Did he just come off?
Moose got injured. Yesterday.
Like,
Senzel was 2 for 3 today.
I feel like Chad was just talking about Senzel being injured yesterday.
2 for 3 today.
Darn. Oh, well, then I take that back. I apologize.
Chad just corrected you. Senzel's been on base 4 times tonight and has a 7-game hitting streak. The hell are you talking about?
Thanks, Chad. Did he just come off the IR? Because I swear.
IL. They don't call it
IL, IR, whatever it is called these days. Did he just come off the COVID list?
He was on the COVID list. I don't know when he came off, but if he has a 7-game hit streak, sounds like he's doing just fine.
All right, well,
compared to who's not doing well.
There goes my argument of saying, do you think Senzel could be gone at the trade deadline? But I guess
he still could be if he's starting to perform well.
Senzel and Pham probably gone at the trade deadline, right?
I would be surprised if Tommy Pham is still wearing a Reds jersey past the All-Star game.
That guy.
I
kind of don't want him to be traded.
All-Star game might be a little early.
I kind of don't want him to be traded because I kind of just want to see how this plays out.
He's crazy.
I know. He's buck wild, man.
I don't know. But yeah, Moose being on the IL, not great.
Not good at all.
He's not for his contract, for what he's done this season, his time in Cincinnati, for that matter, it's been dreadful.
Fair.
Makes me miss the other guy who signed a contract at the same time even more. Nick Castellanos.
Yeah. Wish he was still here. Just a story that was written by SI about how many times he's interrupted important messages in the middle of baseball games with a home run.
Turns out I was wrong. The audio, while it sounded weird, it by all indications it was actual audio for
last week's.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the Phillies just fired their manager. I wonder how much he wishes he was here too. They fired Joe Girardi this week.
Somebody, Madden just got fired today too, didn't he?
Joe Madden for the Angels got fired today.
I've already seen people say, let's bring in Joe Madden.
You cannot hold this season against David Bell.
Oh, he had no players. Look what he did when he finally got the players.
And
after a no spring, when he finally got the players, it took 60-something games, but look, they're turning it around. Imagine if he would have had a whole spring.
Well, I mean,
and real players.
Why would you want to continue to pay? First off, they're not going to bring in a coach like a Girardi or like a Joe Madden and pay them outrageous money. They're not going to want to be here with how this organization has been running things. Yeah, I don't know.
He get fired again.
But they're not going to pay another coach to come in here more than they're paying David Bell.
No.
And why would a coach of Joe Girardi's caliber, of Joe Madden's caliber, why would they come to Cincinnati into what has been a dumpster fire of a year with upper management who doesn't know how to spend the money that they are spending, won't spend money? No.
We have a rich baseball history.
None of it's happening.
We have that to offer.
Don't even talk about it.
Congratulations. You got to coach the Cincinnati Reds.
A waste of everyone's time.
Only other person who put that on their roster, on their resume, is like 30 other people.
29 other people at the same time, and plenty others every year.
No, coached the Cincinnati Reds.
Gotcha. There's been 31 coaches ever?
I said 30 other, a guesstimate. So I'd say it's a probably solid guesstimate.
Why don't you go ahead and fact check yourself on that? Just for fun.
How many managers?
And then, yeah, I'd laugh if we finish at 500 as well. But again, I don't think any of that. Whether it's
what, I'm sorry, it's off by 31, 61.
Just twice of the number that you said.
I mean,
but at least we know now 61 managers. I don't think there's a chance in hell we finish at 500, Geoff. But it would be something.
I forgot about interim managers. Damn it.
Get you.
Yeah, the like Jim Riggleman.
People were clamoring for him to remain here. What are some other names that you didn't think of as you, even over the course of the last like 10, 15, 20 years? Just curious what that list looks like.
I mean, not a lot.
They haven't fired. I mean, Dusty was here for a while. Bell's been here for a little while.
If we go back to 1970, right? You got Sparky Anderson, John McNamara, Russ Nixon, Vern Rapp, Pete Rose, Tommy Helms, Lou Piniella, Tony Perez for 1 year, Davey Johnson, Ray Knight, which is, I remember the one I remember from the mid 90s, Jack McKeon, Bob Boone, when he had both his sons on the team, Dave Miley, not to be confused with Wade Miley, Jerry Narin, Pete McCannon, Dusty Baker, Brian Price, Jim Riggleman, and David Bell. So not a lot of interims in that, except for Pete.
Not even that crazy of a list.
Yeah, it's not even that crazy of a list.
Before we move off baseball, just a story involving two previous Reds, because I think everybody's taken a glimpse at Seattle a couple times this season.
Oh yeah, I got a story about Reds, current Reds too. Go ahead.
Last night the Seattle Mariners were playing, and there was some altercations. And as the benches clear, I know Suarez was involved with a head pitch. I believe it was after the altercation, and the pitcher got kicked out. And I think Ty France actually got beamed in the ass, actually.
It's not a good place to get hit. It hurts.
In the thigh ass area, and that's when benches cleared. You know who was right in the middle of it? Jesse Winker.
Good for him.
Does that surprise anybody though? Like,
no. Do you remember when he tried to hold back Yasiel?
Oh no. He was in, like, he's always running his mouth. Always.
Yeah, never mind.
Whether,
he was holding
whether
back
fans, whether
Barnhart. Tucker Barnhart was trying to hold back Yasiel.
He's a fun guy. Yeah, Tucker Barnhart was getting dragged like old Jeff Van Gundy back in the day when he was the Knicks coach.
Like an anchor in high seas.
But we talked about that stat, Geoff.
Yeah, we got that. Geoff.
Actually, I think we missed the no runs, no walks.
Huh. I thought we talked about that. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
We can go.
But yeah, it was Jesse Winker running his mouth in the middle of it all. And I'm not surprised at all. I think that I don't know who would do that. If the bench is cleared right now, who do you think is the player that would be most likely? Because I think I know who it would be.
Oh, Tommy Pham.
That's correct.
That's correct.
That's the correct answer.
A year ago, Joey Votto.
I think Joey Votto would. I think Joey Votto would definitely be one of the players, though.
But he made that commitment to the fans, the young fans last year.
He said he wouldn't be out here just screaming, F-bombs as he's striking out and all of that.
I miss those Joey Votto blow-ups on the ref or on the ump. Sorry, keep saying ref.
You do. It's terrible. Too much NBA playoffs for you.
And that's what I was going to say. I've been watching some NBA playoffs.
But I don't think if the bench is cleared, Joey's the same as anybody else out there, and I think he's entitled to be allowed to get a little chirpy if the bench is clear. I don't think that would go back on his
20 years in the league.
As long as he's not the one throwing a first punch, I don't think that goes back on his promise.
You think Joey Votto's ever thrown a punch in one of those fights, though?
I think we'd have to go back and check the tape.
I might look up some of the big fights and see if I see Joey Votto throw a punch. Some of the Cardinals fights and some of the Pirates fights, and let's see what happens.
All right. Well, we'll have that segment for you next week.
Next week.
the Joey Votto fight history.
Next week on Pardon the Punctuation. Has Joey Votto ever thrown a punch?
I'm going to say no, strictly based on he's Canadian.
I feel like Canadians get a little scrappy sometimes, though.
He'd rather walk than hit. That's such a good joke. That's the best thing your brother has ever contributed to the show. No shot that Joey Votto threw a punch. He'd rather walk than hit. That
took me a minute to get, but I get that. Yes, that's good stuff.
So yeah, what do you have on the Reds before we move on?
Well, just a fun story, right? Because we look for fun stories sometimes.
Sure.
And this one belongs to the Reds on Twitter. I guess I missed this. I was outside with the dog earlier. Posted, I guess there was a story tonight. Maybe it was yesterday. I don't know. But anyways, apparently there's a little running joke in the clubhouse where Kyle Farmer, or Aquino calls Kyle Farmer Jake Taylor, and Farmer calls Aquino Pedro Serrano from Major League. What?
Aquino.
I know, Aquino. From Major
Ringo.
League. To the point where when you hear Aquino up the bat, you can sometimes hear Kyle Farmer yell, "Let's go, Serrano." And then apparently Aquino went out and bought a Joe Boo when the Reds were not doing
Aquino.
That's why I said Aquino.
No, you said Aquino again.
It's because I'm reading it. But anyways, he went out and bought a Joe Boo and put it in his locker when the Reds weren't doing too well. So maybe that's the reason for the turnaround recently is we have a Joe Boo in the locker room.
Perhaps. Maybe that happened on May 7th when things took that shift.
Possibility. Who would be Willie Mays Hayes on this team? Like if we had to give, you know what I mean?
I don't know.
The Wesley Snipes character, if you don't remember.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to place who it might be. I don't know that anybody. India?
That's fair.
Is he cool enough to play Wesley Snipes? I don't know who's cool enough to play Wesley Snipes.
Definitely not Tommy Pham.
No.
Maybe Votto? Maybe Votto would play Willie Mays Hayes?
I don't know.
Not as fast as him, but maybe Votto would play Duke Temple. The older guy. Are you saying Jesus Christ can't hit a fastball, curveball? No? Okay. Great line from the movie. If you've never seen it, go ahead and check it out, Aaron.
What did you want me to say? You said the line. What do I do with that?
You just laugh.
You threw a fish in my lap.
Throw a fish in your lap?
That's a saying.
We don't have fish here.
That says Ellie De La Cruz would be Wesley Snipes.
Sure.
Or Barrero.
Who plays
Barrero? I know.
Who plays Wild Thing?
Tommy Pham.
Graham Ashcraft.
Tommy Pham.
I want Tommy Pham to come out to Wild Thing one time.
He's got the right personality.
Wow.
He's not a pitcher, but he's got the right personality. If you're talking a pitcher, I don't know. I don't know that we have. Again, I don't know that there's anybody that cool.
It's Hunter Greene.
It's not Hunter Greene.
You're just thinking about like how they played in. Okay.
No.
Maybe.
Anyway.
Possibility.
Moving on.
Moving on.
How much did you pay attention to recruiting this weekend?
Much like you and much like Chad, I was super busy on Saturday, but my phone was blowing up with all these recruits. So that we got the top 9 in the state of Ohio. Is that what it was? Top 10 in the state of Ohio?
No. We have
big number.
We do have a big number.
Thank you.
It's 9 of the top 25.
That's what I knew it had a 9 in there somewhere.
I think today made it 9.
Okay.
8 or 9. Maybe it's
had that 9 there somewhere.
I have it here. 6.
But like biggest day I guess biggest day since the last biggest day in school history, right? Biggest day in school history since the draft, which was the biggest day in school history since
biggest recruiting weekend.
Yeah.
Ever. As they end up with that's where you got your 8 or 9 or whatever. It's now become 9 in the last.
Okay, that's where I got it.
Since Saturday. Day McCullough started it off, the highest rated defensive prospect in school history. Comes in from Indiana. His dad is the running backs coach at Notre Dame.
Yes, he is. Played running back at Miami.
I think so.
Yeah.
Am
I right on that one, Chad? Am I right on that one?
He's up there with 6 in Ohio.
Tell me I got something right here.
But he comes in ranked a 4-star. Again, the highest defensive recruit ever in school history. The second highest rated recruit ever in school history, behind only Evan Prater ever. What are your thoughts, though, correct, good job, Ed.
Let's go.
What are your thoughts, though, about, they ended up with Day McCullough, the safety. They ended up with Aiden Greene, a wide receiver. They ended up with Luke Evans, a cornerback out of Florida. And these are all in order as far as the rankings go. They ended up with James Jenkins, an interior offensive lineman, Manny Covey, who followed me today on Twitter, running back, also from Florida. They ended up with Ty Perkins today, a wide receiver from Ironton, Ohio, the second Ironton, Ohio recruit in this class, joining a 4-star Trevor Carter from earlier in the recruiting process. Jonas Duclona, also from Florida, cornerback. A tackle, offensive tackle, Josh Gregory, 6'7", 270. Senior in high school. Well, going to be a senior in high school, Ed. And Nick Oliveira, I think it's how we're pronouncing it, Oliveira, an offensive tackle out of New Jersey. But like I said, biggest recruiting weekend ever in school history.
This is a cumulation of like everything that we've been.
What was that word?
Accumulation.
Okay. That's not what you said, but you got there. Very good.
My internet, whatever. Accumulation of everything that, you guys have been saying on the BBP, that Chad's was saying, like the playoff game, the draft, all of this is what is a result of all that kind of stuff. We keep saying this is the biggest day in school history. Because of those days, this is what's happening. Players are coming in for their visit weekend and just committing right there on the spot, which is wild. I don't know. It's only good for the program, obviously. But I think this is something that we should maybe start getting used to, because this is going to start happening a lot more for us.
I think he combined accumulation and culmination together, Chad. And I think it ended up being cumulation, actually.
Culmination. Culmination.
So there's that. But yeah, there's been an awful lot of talk about culture. There's been an awful lot of talk about you can't forget in that list of things that you talk about as far as what has gotten the program to where they are right now with a recruiting class like this, which is currently they reached as high as 4th overall in the nation earlier today, but since they're now at 5th highest. Something changed today. I'm not sure what it was, but I haven't had time to take that deep dive. In any case, you say all those things. You forgot one thing. Next year, Big 12.
Well, there's that too. Yeah,
that makes a huge difference when you're no longer the Group of 5, but now you're talking about being Power 5.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying you're right.
I thought you were gonna
evolve
that thought.
Yeah.
So I mean,
more thinking.
Chad and I did our nightcap last night on the culture and what it means for these kids. But what as kind of, I mean, I feel like I play a little bit of both sides as I get to kind of be the voice of the fan and kind of be the guy in the press box. But you being strictly fan, I mean, what does the culture mean to you when you hear about the culture that Luke Fickell and, you know, his right-hand man, Brady Collins have kind of constructed here in Cincinnati?
I mean, when you say UC culture, the first thing that comes to my head is a culture of hard work and winning. Like, if you don't want to win, don't be here. If you don't want to work hard, don't be here.
Now, are you taking that from just Luke Fickell and what he's done here, or are you even dialing back into like some of the old basketball stuff that we grew up watching?
Yeah, you could dial that back for sure. I mean, Huggins, we've heard all the stories from the former players, right? Like, Huggins would tell him, if you don't want to practice hard, here's the bus, go home. And I think Lenny took that bus home one time or something. I remember the whole story. Somebody took a bus home. But yeah, no, you could go all the way back to the Bob Huggins, you know, era. I mean, I try not to go that far because there's still people who hang on to that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's a culture of winning and hard work. You have Brady out there he's gonna make you bust your ass in that gym. And if you're not willing to put in the work and put up the weight, then go home. You have Fickell out there who, if you're not willing to give 100% on the field and, you know, not give up on plays and all that kind of stuff, then, I mean, I don't feel like he has a problem sending you home. You can be a 5-star recruit. He'll send your ass home.
We haven't had any of those yet.
Well, we haven't had that situation yet, but I just, in my head, think that if this was to happen, see ya.
Fair enough. I don't know. It's super exciting though to be in the situation that, I mean, you're talking about there was a kid who had a crystal ball here, who we thought might be a Bearcat sometime this week, and that crystal ball has now changed to Ohio State. But we are in battles with big schools, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, real big programs. Like, I mean, it's not any longer. If you can't go to Ohio State, you can go down the road to Cincinnati. You'll be all right.
Which, by the way, programs who can, in the new era of the NIL, programs who can offer these kids a lot more money in the NIL than the University of Cincinnati can, but they're still choosing the University of Cincinnati over the money because they want to win.
Well, I think that's a little bit relative too. I think what you're running into is in Cincinnati, you can make money. Des made money through the NIL. Des made a lot of money through the NIL. The thing is, in Cincinnati, you have to work hard to make that money. So I think that it's.
I mean, there was a story a couple of days ago that said from, looks like USA Today. I don't know if they're the ones who broke it, but the headline says Ryan Day estimates $13 million needed in NIL money to maintain Ohio State football roster.
Which I think is hilarious that he's out here. We need your donations. We need you.
We need you to pay us money so we can pay players.
I mean, here's the thing, Ed. They've been doing it all along.
Yeah, it's just out in the public.
It's just now their Uncle Sam wants to take his piece.
Yeah.
They don't want it all under the table dirty money. They want it all above bar and to make sure that everybody knows what's going on. they are employees essentially.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I don't know. I don't really want to get into the whole paying players conversation, but I mean,
the only other thing I'm okay
discussing. No, I'm okay discussing the NIL stuff.
Paying players.
I don't really want to get into the paying players.
The only other thing I have to say about it, because it's just going to keep growing, is when does NCAA football come out on PlayStation?
That's a great question.
It has to come out, right? And we're coming up. The time we should start releasing.
Yeah,
we're already getting mad in screen leaks.
The day quote wasn't about recruiting; it was about NIL for the current roster. So it was to maintain the roster as is. They needed $13 million. Chad's just clarifying that it wasn't about recruiting, though. They're not recruiting players with that money. They're trying to keep the roster intact so that the guys aren't poached by other teams with NIL money.
Anymore, you're still recruiting your own players that have already committed.
Sure, absolutely, and that's going to go on for every team at every level in college. I mean, whether you're talking about a D2 guy, whether you're talking about a D1 guy in the Power 5, Group of 5, mid-level, and especially when you start talking about in basketball, when you have in D1, you have so many schools trying to keep those guys around in your program and what have you.
We've seen that.
Well, we might not any longer see the days of like a Chicago Loyola, because maybe those guys get picked off by bigger programs now, because how easy is it for a school like that or for a VCU to make a big run, or when Steph Curry was at Davidson, maybe those days are over where the Cinderella team, once the guy has the Cinderella moment, he's now playing for Duke.
Robert Morris.
Yeah, I mean, any of these schools, I mean, who was it? That school in Spartanburg had a big run a couple of years ago. Anyway.
It's the game started back up and there's 0 outs, and Arizona has a man on third and a man on second.
Great.
We should have just called this game.
That's what you wanted to do at 9-0 in the 8th.
Why doesn't anyone listen to me?
Who's on the mound? Solomon? I don't even know who that is.
Oh, geez. And there's a wild ball.
Okay,
he stayed at third.
Nothing happened.
Good. All right.
So I don't know. I mean, the NIL obviously creates a whole bunch of wrinkles in the collegiate system.
But like I said, I think we are recruiting players, getting players who want to be here and want to play, just kind of overlooking the NIL a little bit.
Well, what we talked about last night was the guys that we're bringing in are guys that are good character guys.
Yeah.
They're winners. A lot of them are captains. Reminds you of another team in Cincinnati. Was a point that I made. The Bengals have been drafting high character guys, captains of collegiate teams, winners. And you see the culture that it brought together in Zach Taylor's second season.
He had 2 seasons of. No, he had only 1 season of. Yeah, third season.
So, it's just crazy the type of culture you can build in a locker room when you're bringing in good people that like to win and have proven they are winners and leaders.
And then, you put Kerry Combs on top of that, who's recruiting the hell out of Cincinnati again, which is a nice thing to have. I mean,
doesn't hurt.
No, it doesn't hurt at all.
Doesn't hurt.
What we got 1 from Winton Woods and possibly a second coming from Winton Woods. So
no, we don't.
No,
the one was the one that was crystal balled here.
Oh, it changed.
That changed to Ohio State. So we'll see. The other, he hasn't made a decision yet.
Gary better get over there and rip him.
He decommitted from West Virginia. We'll see.
Yeah. He went to West Virginia for the just over the weekend and decommitted on the way back. Yeah.
So he also in his his apology tour for decommitting, and a lot of West Virginia people got very, very upset about this. Called it the University of West Virginia, and they did not like that. I wonder if he did it on. I wonder if he did it on purpose.
I hope he did. Hope he did. Speaking of West Virginia, did you see Bob Huggins' quote last night? No,
I saw it. I heard it.
I don't think he's wrong.
I think he was not sober.
Oh, that's a possibility. It's a strong possibility. I
Of
don't think he's
course.
wrong. I think we need to be prepared for the travel. We need to be prepared to play hard teams, and it's a general statement.
Coach, tell us about what the Big 12's like. Well,
Hard.
Well, it's hard. It's hard.
Hard.
Traveling is hard.
You ever been to what did he say? Lollapalooza? You ever been to Lollapalooza?
Lubbock.
Lubbock? You ever been to Lubbock? You ain't been to Lubbock. You don't know.
We got to go to
I'll tell you
BYU.
what.
We got to go to BYU.
Chad, you ever been to Lubbock?
It's hard.
I know you ain't been to that other one, but you ever been to Lubbock? What was the one that Mo went to but Chad didn't go to?
Chad, I think you need to be part of this conversation
Nope,
about
don't do that.
Huggy Bear.
I feel like he's gonna yell at me.
It's hard.
Hard. More seasons do you think Huggy Bear got in him?
I think he's going to die on the court.
Has in him, sorry.
He's going to die on
He
the
has
court.
twice, hasn't he?
I don't believe that to be true. No.
Once at least.
Died on the court.
Had a heart attack. Didn't he?
Many people have heart attacks without dying, Ed.
Many people have heart attacks with dying too.
Grand Slam. How about that?
Oh, here we go.
How about that? 9-4.
Do I let him in? Is that Caleb? Did he get that? Oh, he tried though. Hi, Chad.
Classic rally killer.
I told you we should have ended this game during the
No,
rain
no, no,
delay.
no, the Grand Slam. Classic rally killer. Now nobody's on base. You got to start over.
Start over with no outs. Let's go ahead and do that.
Right. Just like the inning reset. Like it was 9-4 coming out of the rain delay.
So, Chad, you and I talked a little bit last night about the Bob Huggins quote. It's hard.
Oh, you guys talk about that last night?
No, we talked off air about it.
Oh, okay.
It's hard.
Traveling.
I mean, he's right. It is hard, but I mean,
It's hard to jump on a private jet.
You don't have to go through. I don't think you have to even go through TSA anymore.
No, they
what?
just show up on the
That's what I'm saying.
bus. The bus lets them off at the plane. They step on the plane. They fly private to wherever the hell they're going. When the game's over, they take a shower. They get on the bus. They go back to the plane, and they fly home.
Hard as having to wait through
you
2
gotta go to
hours.
class the next morning.
Hard as having to wait 2 hours through that line to go through the TSA checks, have your bag weighed. It's 5 pounds over. You're pissed because it's 5 pounds over. You got to figure out, what am I throwing away because it's 5 pounds over and I'm not paying $25 for the extra fee because I'm 5 pounds over. That's hard. Traveling to Lubbock is not hard.
You ever been to Lubbock, Chad?
No.
You gotta go to Lubbock, Chad.
Don't plan to.
You ready? You ready to go to Lubbock, Chad?
Here's the reality.
On a
Is
private
anybody
jet?
actually paying extra because I went on a road trip? They're like, you know what? I wasn't going to subscribe to Bearcat Journal, but Chad Brendel went to Lubbock, so I'm in.
Aren't you forcing a guy to subscribe though? You can just force him to pay you more.
No, I didn't force him. He feels it. I'm like Obi-Wan. You will subscribe to Bearcat. It's hard. It's hard.
That would have been a great reference if Jeff would have been here.
You know what? Playing in the Big 12 is hard. It's hard.
It's the best basketball conference in the country. Of course it's hard.
No shit, it's hard, Bob. Jesus
want him to
Christ.
say? I've gotten used to it.
It's hard.
That guy, I'm not even
We finished
gonna go on a
last.
rant.
We finished last in the conference last year, so it's
You know why? It's because it's hard. It's hard.
American's hard.
Playing in that league's hard. It's hard. You got to get on a plane. Then you get home late because
tell these kids to go to class. It's hard.
It's hard. It's just hard. Like,
I've been telling kids to go to class for 25 years, Bob. Longer than that.
Has he been telling kids go to class?
You know what, Chuck? I just don't think we're very good. I don't think we're very good, Chuck. These guys don't want to play defense. They don't want to rebound. Okay, yeah. I know we're number one in the country, Chuck, but we're just not very good.
Sam, Baylor is the answer right now.
What?
The hardest
road environment
in Big 12 outside of Kansas. I think it's Baylor.
Basketball.
That's probably Texas Tech is a really you gotta go to Lubbock.
You gotta go to Lubbock.
You gotta go to Lubbock.
It's hard.
You ever been to Lubbock?
It's hard. It's hard to go to Lubbock.
Ed,
how can you not say Lubbock, Ed? That's Aaron. That's the conversation we're having right now.
Because
how hard Bob Huggins just told us.
Because I think Baylor's a little tougher. Not by much.
That's Waco. Chip and Joanna Gaines are there. There's shiplap in your hotel room.
Oh my goodness, Chip.
There's also a memorial for a lunatic out there. But
I've been there actually. I've been to Waco. My cousin got married there.
Ed, I can't believe you asked, is he talking basketball or football when he said outside of Kansas?
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Kansas, Ed.
Yeah, it's a
dead
giveaway. You know what it's like playing football in Lawrence, Kansas? It's hard. It's hard.
Easy. It's easy.
It's easy. We get right in. Airport's right there. We get right out. They suck, so they play. They suck, so they play at noon. So
they wait. they wear white uniforms because that's their flag.
Here was my take last night, Ed. You know what's hard? Getting in and out of Morgantown, West Virginia. That's hard.
I've never been there.
That's hard.
I was in West Virginia today, and I cannot wait until there's a game in Morgantown because it's going to be the closest game for me to drive to. I think it might be closer than Cincinnati. Actually,
it's right there. Like it's half and half. Like
I'm saying, it might be just as easy for me to get to Morgantown as it's going to be Cincinnati.
Just ask Mo if he's ever been to Lubbock.
Is that the term?
That is the term. That is the term.
I'm on my fucking game tonight.
You've been talking.
Me too.
You've been talking for about 72 hours straight.
Yeah, I've done nothing but talk for like 2.5 days.
And you'll be back on Thursday.
Like? You know what that's like?
It's hard. It's hard.
That's the name of the episode, right?
It's hard. It's hard.
That's the new name of this episode. It's hard.
It's hard. That's
we gave up another home run, Chad.
That's a Deshaun Watson.
Are you
name.
serious?
That's the title of the Deshaun Watson autobiography.
Aaron said we're not allowed to talk about that.
I don't want to have anything to do with that conversation.
It's hard. That's the title of his autobiography, Deshaun Watson. Semicolon.
It's hard.
It's hard.
I hope that dude never plays again.
Okay, we're going to talk about it for a second. Just for a second.
Okay.
Be careful.
Like, no, I'm gonna make a very valid point. I'm gonna make this point on radio on a 50,000 watt radio station.
Then you've given it some thought.
I've given it some thought. When you get your hair cut, like, do you just go get your hair cut like randomly, or do like you have a person that every time you need a haircut, for the most part, you go to the same spot and you have somebody cut your hair, right?
Yeah, people are creatures of habit, right?
When you need your car fixed, you go to Danco Transmission.
If you didn't get there, I was going to.
Danco does not sponsor this podcast.
I don't give a shit, Ed. He cuts a check to me.
Boom.
So,
I ain't seen that check.
And me by
default.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of your check comes from that check.
Accurate.
Like when you go to the grocery store, right? You go to your grocery store.
Okay.
That man, there's a reason he hired almost
66
massage therapists over what? It was like a 2.5 year span.
Yeah.
You know why? Because he keeps asking for a happy fucking ending, and the ones that say no, all of them mostly, don't come back. So then he has to hire another one.
I really thought you were going to say you do it because it's hard.
That's the title of his autobiography. We had moved past that joke. I wasn't ready to call it back yet.
All right.
His 30 for 30 It's hard.
It's hard.
Hard.
Deshaun Watson. It's hard.
Hard.
But that's not how it works. Like,
Well,
if
real world.
you're a professional athlete, right? You get a masseuse that is your masseuse. That is like,
They
that's
they
what
know
they
your
do.
they know your body and what needs worked on and what
Right.
You're not starting all over every single time you're getting a massage.
That way they could be expert witnesses in your trial.
Like it's
Just like Amber Heard and Johnny Depp.
You don't hire 66 different masseurs.
It's not Baskin Robbins.
Right. Like you wanted some variety. You know why you wanted some variety? Because you expected a rub and tug at the end of every one of those massages.
Hard,
Just
Chad.
go to like the Japanese place down the street.
All right, nope, that's where you got to be careful.
I'm just saying.
Just
Like
got to
that.
be careful.
The signs are the signs. They're telltale signs of why he went through so many different people to give him a massage.
There's definitely,
And I love how the Browns are caught off guard by number 24.
it's because
Number 24. Oh, the other 23 didn't set you off, but 24, shit, what are we going to do?
Well, I wonder if there was wording that if there's any more that we didn't know about,
Gone already.
we could potentially dismiss this whole guaranteed contract. Conspiracy theorists are running wild with, was she a plant? But I don't think they really did their due diligence in actually doing this interview process that they're claiming. The whole thing came together way too quickly for them to really do some deep digging.
The one organization that fucks up everything.
They got this one right? Come on.
Yeah. This is the one thing they got right, guys.
Yeah. We never do the right thing or like understand like how this shit works. But we got this one right. As we paid the guy with 22 civil cases against him, $230 guaranteed $1 million.
Almost $10 million per case.
It's a hell of a settlement. You know what I'm saying?
Doing all that research is hard.
It's hard. It's like playing in the Big 12. It's like going to Lubbock, Ed.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's hard.
You ever been to BYU?
No. Never will. They got out of the inning, Ed. They got out of the inning. 9-5.
Thank God.
Good.
Ed, you can get you a floppy hat June 18th.
A floppy hat.
Red's floppy hat.
What's a floppy hat?
I'm going to guess one of those stupid bucket hats that you like.
Shit, that'll get me to the ballpark.
Is Brissett going to be starting all year? Unless they can somehow play damage control with the other quarterback that's making good money on the roster, Baker Mayfield.
I can't wait to see how that one plays out.
It's going to be a shit show. It's the Browns,
I can't
man.
wait to see
The
how that
whole
one
thing
plays
is
out.
going to be a shit show because the Browns.
If it's brown,
Yeah.
flush it down.
Never heard that one.
You never heard that one?
Never, ever in my life.
I'm joking.
It's like taking the Cosby kids to the pool.
All right. What's going to happen in this game, Ed?
It's going to be a nail biter.
Bottom of the 8th.
Oh, who's up?
Alejo.
Define nail biter. One run. It gets to
one run.
9-8.
Yeah, one run.
Someone's going to actually get a save.
Well, it depends. If the guy that comes in finishes the game, it won't be a save because it's a 4-run game.
No, well, I mean,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Now,
Depends.
if he comes in and screws up and they bring somebody else in, then there could potentially be a save situation.
but you have to have at least 3 batters, right?
Mhm.
I still don't know that I like that rule, but
It's stupid.
it's speeding up the game.
It's hard.
Hard.
The game's hard. You know,
Getting fans in the seats is it's hard.
Aaron, getting 3 outs is, Aaron?
Hard.
It's hard. It's hard. Sometimes you got to get on a plane. You got to go get those 3 outs. You get home late.
Plane?
It's hard.
That whole interview just screamed to me, I'm overcoaching.
No, he's out of interesting things to say. The other thing is, he has no love for Cincinnati. He doesn't have anything good to say about UC.
Then why
he could have easily been like, you know what, I got to know Coach Wes. Wes Miller's really good. Like,
Well, he has said that before, hasn't he?
Not on camera?
Not the Cincinnati reporters. I don't know. I just don't know. Why is he here?
There's a charity
fundraiser,
and he takes every chance he can to come back in town and get wasted with his Cincinnati friends.
It just seems odd.
It's hard.
Anyway, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
It's hard. Talking about Cincinnati is it's hard. It's hard.
Talking about Bob Huggins is hard.
I gotta fly all the way back to Cincinnati for these fundraisers. Drink with my friends. It's hard.
That was the house.
There we go. There we go.
Bam, bam.
Chad, who would you have cast from who would you have cast from the Cincinnati Reds current roster for the spots in Major League that we were talking about?
Oof. I don't think they have a Harris. Like, they don't really have like that old veteran like pitcher. So I guess Votto probably would be right for Harris. But he's too funny. Like, Harris was just like miserable, right?
Dry.
Harris was just trying to get his career over. He didn't even want to play baseball anymore. Like, he was just like, I'm putting Vaseline. Like, I'm doing everything I can to stick around and get a couple extra bucks. That's not Joey. So I don't know who would be Harris. The problem is we don't know this team enough yet, right? Like, they just traded the 7 guys that were relevant
that we knew.
Yeah. So this is literally Major League in the sense that we are just now finding out who is who in the Major League version.
Well, I mean, if we're being honest, I think what was this center fielder that is now in the Padres system from Japan? That was the low-hanging fruit, right? When he was here.
Well, yeah. Well, that was Major League 2, though. That doesn't count.
Touche.
Like, I like Major League 2. It's actually pretty good. Major League 3 is when it went off the rails. But Major League is Major League.
Major League 1, 2 was pretty good.
Yeah, it was good, but it wasn't Major League.
No.
But Aquino's easy as Serrano because he can't hit a curveball. Like, that's
Aaron
low-hanging fruit. It's low-hanging fruit. It's like saying Ty Perkins is the next Alec Pierce. It's easy. Quit making the easy comparisons. But he calls Farmer Jake Taylor. That's where this all started.
Right.
And Farmer's not even that old, is he?
On this team?
Well, no, that's what he said.
I think he's 29.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said for some reason Aquino thinks that I'm old. I'm really old.
Not factual. Like, Jake Taylor was like done, remember? Jake Taylor was ready to be out of baseball. He was playing in the Mexican League, like hungover on tequila with a sombrero.
Yeah, he
in
was
his
ready.
Boxers when they called him.
He was ready to go hang out with Lynn.
Marty has to come back and play Bob Uecker, right?
Well, it's just
a bit outside.
You still get Bob Uecker to play Bob Uecker, but he's the Brewers guy, so.
Kyle Farmer was born in 1990.
He's not that old. He's not old enough to be Jake Taylor.
31.
Jake Taylor was washed. With bad knees.
What about the joke earlier? about when we were talking about Votto, if he had ever punched somebody in any of the scrums. And
I don't think he has. Like, I don't think that's his.
Well, Ed's brother said no, he'd rather walk than hit. There's no shot that he's ever. That was a good one.
One of your brothers finally made a funny, Ed. I'm proud of the Mayhall family tonight.
Maybe you're one. He goes to UC now, so maybe we're converting him.
Yeah. He's seen the light.
Dave Simone just he hit us on the tweet to the live show on Twitter. Says, "Hi guys, hugs and kisses from Florida."
Send him a link. Just tweet him. Link is in your email.
Mo retweeted that he has not consciously ever been to Lubbock.
Why not? Oh, because you're getting the notifications before I am.
I've lived in Texas. I don't think I've been to Lubbock.
We have the ability to downvote stuff now.
I don't know.
Who just hit a home run?
Tyler
Stevenson. Is that his second home run of the night?
No, he was not when I mentioned.
No.
Okay.
Uh-oh. The fireworks smoke is on the field. The fireworks smoke is on the field.
Not good. Get the tarps out.
It's got to be hard to see.
It's hard.
It's hard. You know what it's like to try to hit with fireworks smoke on the field? It's hard.
Oh, the Cardinals knew all about that, right?
Yeah, it's hard. Look at it, it's hard.
Understand.
What can you do? It's hard. I don't know, Chuck. Our guys were trying to hit in the fireworks smoke, and it was hard.
Good Lord. Anything you wanted to add to the brief conversation we had about Jermaine Matthews here? Or are you going to wait till tomorrow night to talk about any of that?
Dave and I will discuss that tomorrow night.
In deep length.
From Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't take real vacations, Ed. We work. Like, that's what we do at Bearcat Journal. We work.
Yeah.
I'll be doing podcasts from LA. I'm sure Kelly and Kelsey won't be happy about it, but
video from the Simone vacation house. That's a rave.
We haven't heard from Dave yet, but I've invited myself on the Simone family vacation next year because it sounds awesome.
You should ask him during Dave After Dark, actually, and get it in verbal contract form.
Yeah.
Because he'll say yes to anything at that point.
I agree. I agree. Good point.
Anything else you got tonight, Ed? I know you actually did your AEW minute.
I did. I have some WWE AEW news. It's a lot of letters.
Good Lord.
Letters are hard.
I'll give you your minute, but you gotta zoom your screen in when it's time. I know Jeff usually does that, but again, not here tonight, so.
You know what zooming in the screen in is? It's hard.
I thought Aaron was number 2 producer in the city. I guess
I don't have access because I'm busy running the Bearcat Journal one. I can't. It's not very easy to switch between the two.
I think if you use separate browsers, it's easier.
Yeah,
that's too hard.
It's hard. You know what it's like using 2 browsers, Aaron?
It's hard.
It's hard. It's hard.
I deleted all of the browsers off of this computer except for Firefox. So
you should try Chrome, Aaron.
Yeah,
but if you had Chrome, like going back and forth, that's hard.
Maybe you can get that DuckDuckGo.
Unreal. If you're ready for your minute.
Oh, I am ready.
Your time starts now.
Screen just locked. Hold on. All right. So some big news coming out of both camps, AEW and WWE. WWE, Cody Rhodes had a full pectoral tear before going into his fight in Hell in the Cell on Sunday night. If you haven't seen the pictures of this thing, it looked nasty, just bruised up, just
gruesome.
Completely off the bone. It was horrible. So he was welcomed on Monday Night Raw with a respectful "Thank you, Cody" chant from the crowd. You would imagine it'd be a while before he's fighting again, but he's already talking about fighting again in 4 weeks in a Money in the Bank match, which is wild to me. During Cody's promo, Seth Rollins came out and told Cody that Dusty would be proud of him. Then he walked away. Then as Cody was walking back, Seth came out and attacked him with a sledgehammer and just kept hitting him in the pec with the sledgehammer. That's a cheap ass move. Also, big news out of AEW camp. This has been going on for a couple weeks now. In MJF
and time
is, I'm going to just keep going because you can't stop me. MJF is trying to get fired from AEW. I don't know if this is a work or not. The interview he gave, the promo he gave on Wednesday night, last Wednesday night, it didn't seem like a work to me. But he has been removed from all the AEW websites, and it's rumored that he's being removed from all AEW media as well. So will Tony let MJF let go from his contract and go back to the WWE? That's still to be seen.
Matt Flanders says it's some massive work.
Is it though? Because
I don't know. I truly don't care. But I need Jeff back so we can stop Ed in a minute. Good God.
I like it that Ed has control and he can say, you know what? Ed, talk more. Ed, more wrestling. Let's go. Aaron can't do anything.
So
he has no control. He has no power.
I wanted to put the end screen up. Like, I can't do anything.
I know. That's why I said I don't care. I'm going to keep going.
Tell us more about the Cody Rhodes injury.
Did you see it, though?
What are they going to do?
What were they going to do when the makeup washed off?
No, what are they going to do now that the champ is out? Like, come on, Ed.
You got a whole
I need
tattoo.
your in-depth thoughts.
That's commitment. He got his whole pec tattooed.
No, he did. He actually, they said he tore it partially. And then tried to like lift.
And then he pulled it completely off the bone.
And then he ripped it off the bone while he was lifting.
But it's okay to hit him with a hammer. Yeah.
Like they hit him with a hammer.
Aaron, that's all at work.
Unreal.
You don't understand how wrestling works, Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron, come on.
Jeff Howell, come back to the show and save me.
It was a work.
Looking dead into your soul, Jeff Howell. Come back and save me.
How nasty is that?
It looks pretty gross. It looks like it hurts.
I want to know how much time in the makeup chair it took.
Did you understand? Wrestling is real.
All right. Well, Ed
just because this guy can pull a full pec right off the bone and still fight, and you can't make it to work after hurting your ankle in a kickball game.
I broke my collarbone, dude.
He ripped his pec off.
Off the bone.
Off the bone.
All right, we're starting to repeat ourselves, so that's going to wrap it up. That was another episode of Pardon the Punctuation.
It's surgery today.
Jeff, get back here. But for Chad Brendel, as always, joining us when he has the time to. I don't know how he had time this week. I thought he'd for sure take the night off. But
I wasn't going to. Then you begged me to come in.
Hold him on.
Because I wanted. That gave us the title of the show, so that it's hard. But that was another episode for the self-proclaimed best producer. He's got some work to do. Ed Mayhall. Like I said, Jeff, come back. I am Aaron Smith. This was another episode of Pardon the Punctuation. 9:15 next week. Special guest, maybe a baseball guy from UC. We'll see.
There's only 5 seconds left. Go.
I would say I was watching the bar. I had my words in.
Yeah, you didn't do it fast enough.
I said we'll see you there, and you didn't end.
Okay, yeah. So that's my fault. Try again, please.
Next week, 9:15. See you there.
Bye.